Let me ask you a serious question. Are we the only industry in the world that responds to pay cuts by increasing our volume? Because that's what orthopedic surgeons do. Reimbursements drop, Medicare cuts happen again, commercial payers will follow, and what do we say? Guess I need to do more cases. In most industries, wages are what economists call sticky. Employers avoid cutting pay. If revenue drops, they lay people off. They restructure, they renegotiate contracts. They don't just cut compensation and expect the workers to double their output. So let me give you a few examples. If there's manufacturing, you get layoffs or price increases. If it's in tech, you get restructuring or stock compensation shifts. If it's in the airlines, you get renegotiations and bankruptcy protections. Labor unions, what do? They strike. Pay cuts are rare, and when they do happen, they're usually temporary and negotiated. Well, what do we do in medicine? Pay cuts for us are structural. They're unilateral, and oftentimes they're permanent. CMS cuts reimbursement. Commercial carriers follow. Facility fees rise. Implant costs rise. Staff overhead rises. And what happens? Surgeons, we never strike. We don't renegotiate. We don't reduce the supply. What do? We increase our throughput. We are the only industry I can think of that responds to lower pay per unit by increasing our units. That just happens nowhere else in the world. That's not strategy, that's conditioning. Now, to be fair, there are industries where workers accept pay cuts. Remember during COVID, some companies temporarily reduced salaries to avoid layoffs of employees. But those cuts were framed as survival for the company. They were temporary, and they were often voluntary. What we're experiencing isn't temporary, it's structural compression. And instead of renegotiating the system, we just adapt inside of it. Now, remember these counterexamples? Remember the nurses in New York have struck? Junior doctors in the UK have walked out on the job. Transit workers strike all the time. Manufacturing unions strike all the time. Now, I'm not advocating striking, but surgeons, we never organize. We don't even push back. We just say, well, I'll do 5 more knees this month. The real danger isn't financial. It's psychological. We were trained in delayed gratification. Work harder, sacrifice more, and someday it will pay off. But what happens when the system is structured so that working harder results in lower marginal return? At some point, volume stops being mastery and it starts being self-exploitation. Every other industry adapts structurally. Healthcare adapts behaviorally. And a behavioral adaptation inside a broken system just accelerates burnout for the players in the system. I'm not saying strike. I'm not even saying rebel. What I'm saying is we need to stop pretending that this is normal. If your response to declining pay is always more work, you don't have a business model. You're on a treadmill. If that hits a nerve, go to orthopedic-concierge.com and take the quiz. See if a different business model is right for you. There is another way to structure the way you practice.